let's go into the question that is on almost every observer's mind. So you have indicated a desire to resume the dialogue that the Central Tibetan Administration was having with the CCP in the People's Republic of China, which was stemming from what is called the middle way approach. Rather predictably, China has also reacted very negatively to your election. Given the fact that we now also have hardening Sino-Indian relations, they're becoming more volatile as we speak. Is this a challenge for you? Do you find yourself potentially having to navigate a very delicate balancing act?
So whenever we talk about dealing with the Communist Party of China or the government of China, it is always very challenging at all times. It's not just this time. Of course, right now we all can see that China is being very belligerent, not only towards India, which is more warlike posture. But in other areas in South China Sea and East China, with Japan, Taiwan, all its neighboring countries, and also countries far beyond in Europe and North America. So this is, of course, a very challenging time. And outwardly, it appears the posture of the Chinese government is not very convincing to the world that they are willing to engage or they are willing to be responsible global power. The only reason that I can see is that they are trying to protect themselves at this time of pandemic when there are economic upheavals around the world, and there could be danger to the power and position of the Communist Party. So every time there is a danger like this, we can see that China is trying to evoke nationalism within its rank and file. So that seems to be the only reason why they are being so belligerent. So it is definitely very challenging for us. But at the same time, the reality of the situation, particularly concerning Sino-Tibet conflict, is that the Tibet issue can be resolved only by talking with the Chinese government. That is the reality. Whether the Chinese are willing to listen right now or whether common sense will prevail on them in the eventual times, that is something that we have to look at. But from our side, from His Holiness side, we have consistently been reaching out to the Chinese government. Now, whether we like it or not, we can't have a Hanuman to lift Tibet out of that area and put it somewhere else. Tibet and China were neighbors since time immemorial, since this universe came into being, just like Tibet and India were neighbors. So as neighbors, we should learn to live in peace and in cordiality with each other, in harmony with each other. That is what the Chinese government has always been saying. But when you say to live in harmony, you have to say verbally and also in practice. You have to practice that. So what the Chinese government is doing right now is not practicing what they preach. So we will make our efforts, we will make our overtures. That has to be the norm in terms of our relationship with China. And we firmly believe that middle way approach, which is mutually beneficial both for China and Tibet, is also beneficial for the whole geopolitical region. If the Tibet issue could be resolved, there could be better relations between China and India also, whose neighbors started only after China occupied Tibet. So that relationship is also very important. His Holiness has said many times that China and India are the most populous nations in the world, and we always appreciate good relations between China and India. But that has to be reciprocal. It cannot be one-sided. So therefore, we will put in every effort to reach out to the Chinese government and prevail upon them that this is the best way forward, not only for Chinese and the Tibetan people, but for the whole region.
So that is, your optimism is inspiring, and I certainly hope it will be reciprocated.